Hello, my beautiful friends. This is Sabine Messner, the founder of Soul Purpose Wealth and the host of the Soul Purpose Wealth 2016 retreat. And I wanted to introduce to you today Melissa Hughes. She is one of our Soul Purpose Wealth anchors, and the anchors are here to really hold a wealth frequency at the Soul Purpose Wealth Retreat in Costa Rica. That's where they really have that area of mastery. And we have a number of different anchors that are really anchoring in a certain aspect of the wealth consciousness frequency. And I'm so excited and over the moon honored to introduce you today to Melissa Hughes and show you what wealth consciousness frequency she is going to hold the space for. Let me first tell you a little bit about Melissa. Melissa grew up in the Caribbean and had, through the fact of her.
No, I didn't.
So she really set out with a big dream, came to the United States, became a millionaire in her early 30s, and has since then been a very, very successful entrepreneur. So really, every time when she comes into a business constellation, whether she works with her clients or in her own business, every time Melissa comes into the picture and comes into the constellation, there are no limits. She is kind of the magic eraser for limitations and glass ceilings and things that you think are not possible, which is exactly why Lisa Nichols, which I'm sure you know, she is the quirky lady from the Secret movie, right? Who is one of actually the first spiritual entrepreneur that ever went public with Lisa Nichols International. And guess what Lisa Nichols did? She brought Melissa Hughes on board to prepare for that unbelievable quantum shift for her company to go public. And that's exactly what Melissa's presence does. If you have already momentum, if you have already, sort of accelerated in your business, right? She is going to just take the throttle and lift you up many, many notches. And the reason why she's able to do that is because her joyous ability to tune into your purpose. She's all about your soul purpose. And she knows intrinsically that when you commit, and this is very important, you have to commit. When you commit and step into your soul's purpose, you really have that infinite creative potential at your fingertips. And there is absolutely nothing that can stop you. And she is unapologetically really taking a stand for you to have your richest life, which is why Melissa, also as my branding client, has taken a stand for live rich, spread wealth. It's really the deservability of everyone, the birthright that everyone has to reach great heights from a soul purpose perspective, but also from a worldly success perspective, and to share that richly and abundantly. So everyone, Melissa Hughes, the Queen of Abundance, thank you so much, firstly, for being here on this interview, but also for coming to the Soul Purpose Wealth Retreat and anchoring in this unstoppable, abundant frequency that you're holding so perfectly.
Well, thanks so much, Sabine. I love you, my sister. You are a visionary. You are brilliant. You are a trailblazer. And I have been so honored to be one of your clients. And you know what? I'm always going to claim you as the one that supported me in birthing and bringing to light and quantifying and bringing it from out there to right here in my face as far as the impacts I make in the world in such a succinct way, such an endearing way. And what I know for sure is that I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for our cross pathsing. And that's what I love about you in carrying out your soul purpose, that you have blessed me as a result. And I am very thankful. And I am honored to be here with you and holding the space for all these amazing people that are going to be coming to the Soul Purpose Wealth Retreat in Costa Rica. So thank you for having me here. And I have one little correction. I am full-blooded Jamaican. I was born in New York. So both of my parents are Jamaican. I was first generation here. And so everything else she said was totally correct. But I wanted to correct it because I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page. But what I know, it doesn't take away from the things that Sabine has highlighted as far as the joy that is deep in my soul, the joy that I'm so thankful that I am able to be here on this earth to make the difference that I do make, that I am actually able to embrace it and not hide from it and not dim my light because of it. And that's the space that we hold when you're looking to really tap into all the abundance that is already there for you. So I can't wait to see y'all come to this event. So Sabine, what do you have for me today, my love?
Well, I so love that. I mean, I just want to sort of share with people real quick that we go back 5 years now, right? Our journey originally crossed 5 years ago when we were both part of a mastermind.
Yes.
And during that time, you were writing your first book, which is basically called How to Monetize Your Soul Purpose. And that's what all started out because you said, hey, wait a minute, this lady is all about soul purpose branding.
Right.
In this book about how to monetize your soul purpose, I want to put your story in my book.
Absolutely.
And that's how we clicked. And that's since then, we really have become mutual clients of each other.
Yes.
You've been my mentor. I have had the privilege to mentor you. And this relationship has really, blossomed over 5 years. I wouldn't be here today without your influence either, because I did need a little. I needed a little bit of your abundance.
Rubbing off.
Because I mean, if you remember, my soul purpose was initially really not monetizable, right? That was
right.
Well, we've come a long way.
Yes.
We have come a long way. And he would always look at me and go but honey buns, you're such a genius. You're so brilliant. Why don't you make more money? I'm like,
that face right there. It'd be like a deer in the headlights,
spiritual calling, money. Those were very, very much like separate things.
Right.
They were not coming together for me, right?
But you know what? I want to highlight what you're saying because we have had a relationship over 5 years and we're both givers.
Yeah.
And so we've not run out. We've only been able to give and pour in each other's hearts and in our lives. And it just is multiplied as far as what abundance looks like. So I want to honor you and thank you for being the person that you are, because that's part of what this is all about, right? Exactly. Richness, even in relationships. So it's really juicy.
We have really, really, really helped each other and never judged each other for the
Absolutely not, right.
I've had, but every time I hang out with you, I feel like, gosh, I'm sort of like navigating blindly because I mean, this woman, she just creates riches. And, I mean, wherever she goes, I create sort of clarity on the purpose, but I had to come a little bit on the up to speed with you, right? And vice versa. When you were hanging out with me, you were like, I could hear your brain.
Right.
The wheels.
Right. I'm like, what? Queen of abundance? What does that mean?
Clarity in terms of the vision.
Spread wealth. What? Are you kidding me? Can I really carry this? Is this really mine? And it is.
But it was that frequency that when we had clarity on what it really is that you needed to step into, when Lisa Nichols and other people of that caliber were all like, wow, wait a minute. Let's have Melissa on our team here, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So I just wanted to sort of highlight that for people because it's really this type of juicy relationship and also loving commitment that we were also there for each other when it was more difficult for us. We had ups and downs over the last couple of years, right? And we have that type of relationship that, you've always been there for me when it counted and vice versa. Yeah. And that's exactly when we're coming on the soul purpose journey. It's always a long-term journey. It's just a short-term relationship. Our relationship is that way. And that's why I'm so delighted because last year you were going to come with us to the Soul Purpose Wealth, the inaugural Soul Purpose Retreat. It was always clear to me that when I'm doing my first Soul Purpose Wealth Retreat, Melissa has to be there because you were my first wealth mentor. You were my first wealth mentor. You took that glass ceiling off. And God bless your indigenous thinking because, we oftentimes judge other cultures and believe that they are less affluent because
Right.
we have a certain idea of what wealth looks
Right.
like. But actually, the plentiful thinking that your culture has and the connection with joy is actually so much more wealthy and so much more like a party, right? That's why everybody wants to go there, because you guys know how to enjoy the wealth, right?
Right, exactly. And the wealth is also in the joy. That's what it is.
If like network, talk to the who's who, right? It's just so refreshing. And last year you couldn't come because you had a baby girl, which was
I did. I have a baby girl now, and if you can remember, when you were mentoring me, you told me that there was a baby on the way, family would be there. That not only did I have abundance in my business, but what I was destined for was having abundance in more than I could imagine. And you were the one that held the space, the safe space, for me to lean in and really believe that. You started me on that path, and I want to say thank you.
wow. See, this is part of the wealth, to have a really healthy, wonderful, loving relationship,
Yes.
family, to
Yes.
have also that intimacy with your clients, to have your client and peer colleagues,
Yes.
family, right?
Yes.
To have that be family. So
Yes.
that's what Soul Purpose Wealth is about, is for you guys to come hang out with us on this awesome spiritual vacation, and then be in this delicious company of a master like Melissa, who's just going to basically sit next to you by the pool, at the beautiful buffet table. You're going to have all these conversations, be part of her wisdom circle, and just by hanging out with Melissa, you're going to start to sort of see your limitations melt away, and how deserving you are to create a rich life, and how much you have to give already. And when you start giving, the receiving happens. It's this beautiful wheel that starts turning. So, Melissa, why are you coming to the Soul Purpose Retreat? It's a big deal. It's a 7-day commitment. It's international travel. I know sometimes, U.S. citizens don't like to leave the country, right? It is leaving the country. It is coming to, South America, Latin America. So why would you say is it so important that people make time for this experience?
Well, so those are two questions, and I'll answer both of them. The reason why I'm coming is because ever since I saw the light, which is you were a light. Your soul is very bright. I saw it from the very beginning. I mean, we could have practically run across the room and hug each other because of the light that you are.
That's true.
Now, you are a light, and I didn't necessarily know what was behind the light, but what was undeniable was that you are a lighthouse for others. And your light goes deep and wide. And I could tell that. Then I got to know you and know your soul I was able to experience you. And with experiencing you, man, the depth is so tremendous. Anyone that's able to pull off a soul purpose wealth retreat, that means that they hold the space for so much. That means you are a giant. You are a giant. And I can vouch for that. And so I'm coming because I know what difference you made in my life. And I'm excited, I'm humbled, I'm overjoyed, and I'm called because it says, this is what I need to do. My soul's like, okay, it's time to do it. I always knew that we would be working together. I always knew that from the very beginning. I wasn't tied to what it looked like, but I knew it would come to pass. But I'm coming because I know it's going to be juicy. I know it's going to be transformational. I know that you don't hang with Sabine and walk away being the same person that you were when you came. That's not going to happen. So if you're trying to look for that, if you're trying to stay comfortable and pristine and, not really go deep, this is not the retreat for you. If you are looking to have a life that you couldn't even imagine was available to you, and you're willing to trust the process and have Sabine as that guide to hold this space for you, then this is for you. If you are a giant in your world, She holds the space for giants, not one at a time, but a village of them. And if you want a safe place to let your hair down, to really get into what's going to allow you to take that next level for yourself. Because as a giant, you know how it is. Wherever you are, you're 80%, people are looking at it as you're 100%. And you know that's not true. But if you want a safe place to be vulnerable, to explore, to dance, to have fun, and to really fill your soul up again before you go back out into the world, then you're not going to want to miss this. You're not going to want to miss this. And I am because of what we do, I don't just say that. I'm not just saying that, hey, come on. I'm saying that because I take it very seriously. And it's very near and dear to me because I know the kind of difference that you make in other people's lives, Sabine. And I know that to miss it would actually be a sad situation. If you're called to do this and something gives you this thing like, hey, go. Don't get stuck in your head, go. Because it's for a reason. I'm not stuck in my head. I'm going because it's for a reason. Now, why I would recommend other people to go, I think I kind of said that. I kind of said why I think it'd be juicy, but I have people that I wish I know a lot of giants. And I know that we need to replenish our souls. And, we're all human. We're all like, we need the community. We need the camaraderie. We need the fun. We need to be able to grow and dance in our growth. And we need to be able to fall and be caught and say, hey, pick you back up. Go on, keep on dancing. You can do this. And I know that Sabine, I know that me and all the other mentors and facilitators, I know that we will honor your spirit. And we know it's a huge responsibility. It's a huge task that we unapologetically say yes to as vessels to serve you. That's why I would recommend that someone come along and come to Costa Rica and be with you at Soul Purpose Retreat, Soul Purpose Wealth Retreat.
I have nothing to add. That's you guys have experienced exactly what happens at the Soul Purpose Wealth Retreat, where it's a lot like jazz musicians coming together, musicians, virtuosos coming together.
I love that example.
And we may be a little bit out of tune. And what you said all of the right things in terms of we are giants, but we play a smaller game. We all play a smaller game. And it takes not just one person to tell us, hey, you're a giant. You can actually look what you can do. Believe in yourself.
Right.
Believe what you can do, right? But oftentimes it takes a village because we have so many different,
layers
there that we can say, well, yeah, I'm a giant, but all right, I'll still play in my little sandbox over here, right?
Get out of my head. Get out of my head. That's what happened when you said live rich, spread wealth. That's what happened when Sabine called me the Queen of Abundance. She came up with my branding. She said, no, you're live rich, spread wealth. I says, okay, I'll just trademark it, but I'll put it on the shelf for now. It took me 2 years to pick it back up again. I went on a world tour all over the world and talked about the meaning of live rich, spread wealth. That started with Sabine. Yeah. That started with you. I've been to Tokyo, Bali, Amsterdam, Dubai, all over the world. A lot of different places that I'm going blank now, but not even to mention the United States, including Hawaii and those kind of places. And what I have to, in the Ukraine and Hungary, and what I have to say, even if I did not speak the language and I had an interpreter, they still got it because it's a humanity message. You tapped in and you plugged me in my contribution to humanity. And that charged me. You got me reconnected with what that looked like without the filters. You took back the layers, you took off the layers, and you said, here, plug into this socket here. This is your socket into humanity. This is how you're going to really do your work. You're doing your work, but this is how you're really going to do your work, unapologetically. And that's because of you. And if anyone wants that kind of experience, then you can trust Sabine Messner to do that.
Wow. That's exactly it. And I remember when we had the vision, it wasn't coming through me. It was coming through yourself. I was just sort of the translator and the
Right.
person that put it into a brand and into a positioning, into a message, right? That
Yeah.
that really can move the masses. And that's also what, of course, you've then, stepped into. And I love the idea that you immediately went global. It was for the people. It was for the world.
Yes.
And so when we are coming together at the Soul Purpose Wealth Retreat as virtuosos, we'll all be jamming. And there is no separation between the mentors or anchors and the participants. We're
Right.
all co-creators.
We're connected, right.
So if you're coming as a friend or client of Melissa, or a friend or client of me, or Siddiqi, or Andrea, or Robert, or whoever, maybe your circle, we're all coming together, and every participant is going to be jamming along. And
Right.
you have no idea what tones and strings, will be played by your own soul in that environment.
Yes.
And it's truly a vacation in the wealth consciousness. The idea is that we are really, like you said, we're surrendering, we're coming undone. We're also going to get very raw and vulnerable with ourselves. We're going to really, really look at, where do we play tricks on ourselves? Where do
Right.
we hide out? Where do we hijack our greatness over
Right.
and over and over and over again? And we're going to do some unbelievable emotional and energetic healing. We're going to shift right out of that. I remember when I came back from the last Soul Purpose Wealth Retreat, I felt like I had a whole new emotional body. I couldn't have certain feelings. I couldn't reproduce them anymore. Coming back to my, in quote unquote, old life, I was constantly waiting to feel a certain way, to worry or have a certain fear or insecurity. Gone. It was just like erased. And from that place, I could make conscious choices to look at my life and my business with a whole new perspective. And that, my friend, is wealth consciousness. When you feel all of a sudden that you're no longer, thinking in fearful ways, you are no longer worried about things, you're charged, and you're really fueled by love. You're fueled by love, and the abundance is an effect of you really stepping into that receptivity. And that's exactly what we're doing at the Soul Purpose Wealth Retreat. I don't think we can say anything more other than we're also going to have a lot of fun. These are the world's best surfing beaches. We are in the blue zone, which is really like this awesome jungle, private beach paradise. It is a high level luxury eco resort. So it's the best of both worlds, very comfortable, but also very, very environmentally sound, right? It's awesome.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited too. All right, guys. Well, listen, it's coming up real quick. It's just in a couple weeks.
It is.
So if you hear this message, come with us, vacation with us in the wealth consciousness, and hang with Melissa and hang with me, and your world will never be the same.
Will never be the same.
Awesome, Melissa. I love you so very, very much.
Love you so much, Sabine.
For making it happen this year with your little baby girl to be with us, and I so appreciate that. And if a young mom with a little baby can come and make time because you have a big business and lots of responsibilities, surely you guys can come as well.
Wonderful. I can't wait to see y'all there.
Okay. Bye, loves.
Bye.